I am a critic, I am a critic, I am a critic, I am a critic, I am a critic.
What's up, opinionators? I'm the I am a critic, and it's time for me to review what's new for you. So, Independence Day, Resurgence. Okay, first of all, I'm just going to warn you guys, this may turn into more of a rant than I usually do, simply because it was a midnight screening of Independence Day Resurgence that I went to see. It's about 3 in the morning here. You know, that has an effect on your brain, so if I end up ranting a bit more, I just wanted you to know there is a reason. So I'm just going to start this review by saying Independence Day, the original movie from 1996, is one of my favourite guilty pleasure movies on the planet. Just so many quotes, so many awesome sequences. But it's such an awful movie. But it's like awful in the right way. It's awful in the really fun way that makes you go, damn, that movie was bad. But I'm gonna watch it regularly until I die. So funnily enough, Independence Day Resurgence begins 20 years after the original movie. Because it's been 20 years! And of course, like a lot of sequels recently, we have a lot of original actors from the 1996 movie coming back in to reprise their roles. We have Bill Pullman returning as President Whitmore. That was fun. We have Jeff Goldblum returning as David Levinson. That was fun. Will Smith. No, we don't. Oh. So first and foremost, let's start with the positives. The visuals in this movie are frigging amazing. The destruction level in this movie is ridiculous. When the aliens arrive, their ship has its own gravity and it starts sucking buildings, cars, people up, and it's going upwards, and then for some reason they come down again. I didn't realize gravity worked that way, but it looked friggin' amazing! The actors look great, the special effects are great. The action sequences, while not very memorable, are extremely visually appealing. And it's great to see the original actors coming back and kind of throwing themselves into the movie. It was a lot of fun to see them having fun, because there was evidently a lot of fun being had. Jeff Goldblum is as good as you'd expect him to be. He's, you know, Jeff Goldblum-ish. President Whitmore is still gruff, manly, macho, capable of making speeches, and he has a big beard now. That's awesome! And the other major positive about this movie is the way they've continued the timeline, because usually, you know, in sequels, humans are just as stupid as they've always been. And don't worry, we'll get to that. But the way humans have used alien technology to adapt and move their own technology forward to become a much more advanced race of humans, it's actually a really refreshing take. Because usually sequels are pretty much the exact same, but they've actually made an effort to have this movie be extremely different. And in a lot of ways it kind of worked. There was a lot of natural progression. It also gave us some fresh ideas on how to fight back with the aliens. And because of this science fiction template, you actually got a chance to see a lot of new set pieces, a lot of new action things that we've kind of seen before in other science fiction movies, but it was a fun progression in this saga. So pretty much all in all, it is exactly what you'd expect or want to see in an Independence Day sequel. Which conveniently brings me on to the negatives. While it was great to see the original actors reprising their roles and having all that similar feel, the plot of this movie is wafer thin. Seriously, none of the characters are given nearly enough time for you to develop any kind of connection or interest to what they're doing. There's a lot of great dialogue, there's a lot of really fun conversations, but that's all they are. They're just nice, fun conversations. They don't have much of a bearing on the plot. The 20-year timeline is completely pointless because, while they've advanced the technology, we don't get any kind of hint as to how they got there, or how the characters have developed in those 20 years. Some characters just aren't there, some new characters are there, and they're really prominent in other major characters' lives, and we're just kind of told, that's it! Deal with it! So it's kind of frustrating in that regard, because you're sitting here going, oh, new character. I'd like to know about them. Cool, their love interest for this character. Anything else? No? Oh well. And seriously, the amount of potential for great character development is there, but they don't capitalize on it. I mean, come on, Dylan Hiller, Will Smith's character's son, he has all the development right there, but they don't do anything with it. It's not a spoiler because it was in the trailers, so if you don't want any information regarding this movie at all, Skip forward about a minute, that'll be fine I'm sure, but this was in the trailers, so it's not really a spoiler. So, here we go. So basically Will Smith's character, Stephen Hiller, actually died sometime in the 20 years between the movies. They don't address this with any kind of meaning. They literally just go, "Your father was so brave. He'd be so proud." And then we get a picture of him later, and that's it. Will Smith, literally the most likeable character from the original movie, is not given nearly enough of a presence even after he's gone. You'd expect Dylan to be like torn up by this. But either way, that's just the point. The characters are not developed at all, and the new characters, oh god, they're so bland. Liam Hemsworth's character, Jake Morrison, wow, is that not a bland hero name, is essentially that. He's a bland hero. Though I will say he has some good moments. And all the side characters around him, including Micah Monroe, who plays Patricia Whitmore, the president's daughter, aka the love interest, why was she not a really major part of this movie? She literally just runs around going, "No, no, no, you can't do that. No, 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 you can't do that. No, 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 I know better. By the way, Jake, you're really pretty." But I digress. Anyway, the other big negative of this movie is the fact that they try and make it too big. And I know, you know, it's Independence Day 2, and the first one was massive, and this one, you know, sequels should be bigger. But they go a bit too far. They don't really allow the characters to take the focus. Because in the original Independence Day movie, it was about 40 minutes of movie before a ship even showed up on screen. All the rest of it was on radar. So you just saw this shape on the radar, and it was intimidating. It was a build-up. So when it finally shows up, you're like, holy shit. You know, it's a big reveal, and you get time with each of the characters before the aliens have even got there. So by the time that all the destruction happens, you're actually, you know, you're somewhat giving a shit. But in this movie, it's all just so big and glorious and sort of visually stunning that you're just sort of sitting there like, it would have been nice to spend a bit more time with the characters. And a lot of the emotional beats happen around the original cast from the first Independence Day, and they don't give you any weight in the movie. They sort of rely on the fact that you've seen them in the original, and they sort of hope that you'll connect with them. You hope that you'll connect with these emotional moments simply because you've seen the first movie. And as a huge fan of the first movie, I didn't feel it. I needed that extra bit, I needed that extra oomph to really feel them. But it didn't deliver. And the other thing is, it tries too hard to emulate the original in all the wrong ways. The original, of course, has the classic speech. You know, the president's speech. It's the one everyone knows. They have like 5 of these in the second half. And they're all the same. Like, it's not even a spoiler for me to say, "We'll stand together, we're stronger together, we're Earth, we all stand together, we beat them before, we'll beat them again, hell yeah!" And literally, there's like 3, 4, 5 of them in the movie, in the second half. And also, you know how I said that humans, you know, are stupid? Wow, they're stupid in this movie. Essentially, this is the human's attitude at the start of the movie. Oh my god, it's a thing we know nothing about coming out of something we've literally never seen before. Let's shoot at it! And that's the attitude, and that's kind of what gets them into this predicament in the first place. And it's all just like, seriously? You were invaded by aliens in the first movie, and you didn't think to learn from your mistakes and maybe be a bit more careful rather than just attacking, because the last time you just attacked, you know, you even had somewhat of a plan and they slaughtered you. But on the other hand, I'm going to defend this movie slightly and say it tried exactly what I thought it would try. It may not have done it as well as it should have done. It got my hopes up a lot with the trailers and it kind of fell flat on its face. But it really tried. It really tried to emulate the first movie, but it didn't capture the real character essence. And I'm going to say a lack of Will Smith did not help this movie, because Will Smith was the charismatic center of the first movie. He had all the quips, he had all the gags, but he also had the emotion. In this movie, we had no one who could emotionally center the movie. There was no central character in this movie, and it was just kind of a bit of a mess. Focus is all over the place, and as a result, the film's all over the place. But it has a great sense of fun, which is missed in a lot of movies, and it does feel more like a monster movie than an invasion movie at a lot of times, but obviously I don't want to spoil it for you. I'd say there are a maximum of 5 really cool scenes in this film. But anyway guys, I've ranted a lot about it. It was a lot of fun, and to be honest, even though it did, in my opinion, fall flat on its face for most of the movie, if you like the original Independence Day movie, there is every chance that you will like Independence Day Resurgence. It's exactly the same kind of shut your brain off fun flick that you could watch a lot. And to be honest, I wouldn't mind seeing it again to try and get a more definitive opinion. All in all, I'd say this movie is a very, very mixed bag. It has poor character development, it has amazing visuals, it has not great conversations that have no real bearing on the plot, but then it has great action sequences. So I think as an overall complete package, I'm going to have to say, in my opinion, Independence Day Resurgence gets a 5 out of 10. So guys, those are my opinions on Independence Day Resurgence. Have you seen the film? What are your opinions on it? Because of course those were just my opinions. You're the opinionators. Please put your opinions down in the comment section below. And of course, if you like what you've seen here and you like my review, please hit the like button, share, subscribe, whatever you like. And if you didn't like the reaction, then you didn't make it this far. So I'm just going to say, you probably can't hear me right now. Hello? I am the I Am a Critic, and I'll be back again with something else new for you, and I'll see you later!